मैच के बारे में सोच रहे हो कि इंडिया ने केवल 133 बनाए, साउथ अफ्रीका को फाइट दिया मगर फिर भी 5 विकेट से हारे। साउथ अफ्रीका तो 10 ओवर के बाद 40 के आसपास उनके रन थे। But when you score only 133, 132, it's very, very tough to win matches, खासकर ऑस्ट्रेलिया के कंडीशन में। लेकिन अच्छी बात है कि हमारे बॉलर्स ने जोरदार फाइट दिया। अफसोस की बात है कि एक कैच छूट गया था और उसके अगले ही ओवर में रोहित शर्मा ने, आपको याद है बचपन में हम पिट्ठू खेलते थे, शायद आप लोग इस गेम से वाकिफ है, आपको बॉल को लेके वो जो 7 पत्थर थे ऐसे ऐसे मारने पड़ते थे ना। कल रोहित ने शायद अगर ऐसा थ्रो मारता तो लग जाता। कल उन्होंने अंडर आर्म किया था और फिर रन आउट मिस हो गया। बट इंडिया और नॉट आउट ऑफ द सेमीफाइनल्स, आपको बता दूं, क्योंकि अभी भी चांस है। बस सवाल ये है कि इंडिया अपने ग्रुप में यानी कि ग्रुप 2 पे नंबर 1 स्थान में खत्म करेगी ये सुपर स्टेज राउंड, या फिर नंबर 2 पे। एंड ऑफ कोर्स दे डिड बीट पाकिस्तान इन अ थ्रिलिंग मैच, देन दे कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली बीट नेदरलैंड्स। तो जहां कल का मैच जो रहा पर्थ में, मुझे थोड़े डाउट थे कि शायद इंडिया ये मैच हारेगी, हारे। a few drawbacks, a few negative, a few news डिस्कशन पॉइंट्स ऑल्सो कमिंग आउट दैट मैच, हम करेंगे आज इसके बारे में चर्चा। मेरे साथ मेरे मित्र, मेरे पुराने कॉलीग आदित्य भट्टाचार्य, हु इज द डिजिटल स्पोर्ट्स एडिटर ऑफ हिंदुस्तान ऑनलाइन, वो हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे। आप लोग अपने सवाल यहाँ पे डाल सकते हो मेरे लिए, आदित्य के लिए, और हम बातों का सिलसिला शुरू करेंगे। आई होप योर डे इज गोइंग वेल। जैसे कि मैंने बताया आपको, कल पर्थ में साउथ अफ्रीका बीट इंडिया बाय 5 विकेट्स टू आल्सो बूस्ट देयर स्टैंडिंग। इनका नेट रन रेट काफी अच्छा था इस मैच से पहले। आई थिंक इट टुक अ बिट ऑफ अ बीटिंग। और ओवरऑल दोस्तों, हम आज बात करेंगे कि इंडिया ने क्या गलत सिलेक्शन किया, क्या सही सिलेक्शन किया, इंडिया के जो प्लेयर्स थे किसने अच्छा किया, किसने खराब किया। कल अफसोस की बात है काफी प्लेयर्स ने दोस्तों खराब किया। वी आल्सो वांट टू टॉक अबाउट शुड चेंजेस बी मेड, क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से, और यहाँ दोस्तों मैं आपकी राय जानना चाहूंगा, आप में से जो भी जुड़े हैं इस लाइव स्ट्रीम पे, आप अपने लॉक स्क्रीन द्वारा मुझसे सवाल पूछ सकते हैं, मुझसे कुछ भी कह सकते हैं। अगर आपको मैच के बारे में बात करना है या अगले वाले मैच के बारे में, आप वो सवाल पूछ सकते हैं। आदित्य भट्टाचार्य, डिजिटल स्पोर्ट्स एडिटर ऑफ हिंदुस्तान ऑनलाइन, वो मेरे साथ जुड़ेंगे। आप लोग जो इस शो से वाकिफ हैं, आप आदित्य से भी वाकिफ होंगे। He's been on this show many, many times in this show's about 11-month existence. So I'm looking forward to getting him on the show. और देखिए, मैंने उनका जिक्र किया and I got his request. Let's bring my good man Adi onto the show once again. तो बाल कटवा के आए हीरो आज, कैसे हैं भाई?
All good, Jamie. All good. How are you?
Good man, good man. As long as there's cricket to talk about, I'm good. As long as people eagerly accept my request to join my show, मैं तो और भी खुश हूँ। तो once again, thank
On
you for
time.
taking. Matlab, I can understand someone in your position trying to manage multiple responsibilities for an online desk. India में, वो भी इंडिया के हार के बाद, I can imagine what you're going through. But that said, how's your day been? All calm, all good?
Yeah, all good so far. Yeah. I won't say thankfully India lost, but yeah, India losing, kind of takes the pressure off a little bit, especially after what happened in the game against Pakistan. Those two follow-up days were crazy. But today
इसी
is
बात
slightly light.
हाँ,
Again,
can you just, ताकि हमारे
yeah,
viewers
so
जाने,
today is slightly light because, the win didn't come. And
कोई
had there
बात
been
नहीं,
the
exactly.
win, there would have been a lot more pressure. Yeah.
बिल्कुल। Ravi Singh has followed you, and Ravi Singh is saying, "Welcome, Aditya." Thank you, Ravi. And also, Rudra is a
Thank you,
regular
Ravi.
is a regular viewer. But regular viewer होके रुद्रा पूछ रहे आपको हिंदी आती है? आप मुझसे पूछ रहे हो कि आदि से पूछ रहे हो? It's a joke, of course. But Adi, before we get into the discussion, you just touched upon this. Just for our viewers, I would assume not many know what goes into the daily job of what you do as a digital sports editor. Just tell them the difference between एक इंडिया जीत के बाद जो ओवरनाइट और अगले मॉर्निंग जो काम होता है वर्क फ्लो, और एक हार के बाद, बिकॉज आई नो व्हाट इट इज, बट आई थिंक आवर व्यूअर्स विल बी कीन टू नो। यू सेड इतना काम नहीं रहा, क्यों?
No, the biggest example I would give you is the day after India Pakistan, right? Diwali day. Usually people are celebrating at homes, festive season, and I would believe that they're not hooked onto their cell phones as much. But on Diwali day, Jamie, oh God, the kind of viewership we had, maddening. it was better than the kind of viewership we had last year during World Cup when Pakistan defeated India. Again, since that was an unexpected result, many would say there was decent amount of viewership, but Diwali day, and me and the guys, we went full throttle. Like, this
Mm.
is because there were so many emotions involved, right? Come back and people say it is better that you get a victory over Pakistan after Pakistan defeated you before too much things are said. So, but yeah, it's crazy. I mean, guys, if you, all the guys who are probably logged in and who are slightly aware of how online works, the kind of stories you read, the kind of angles you do. And in fact, to be honest, it wasn't really light because today morning that whole news of Virat Kohli's hotel
Hotel.
room video getting leaked again, maddening. But
Shocking.
it's very crazy.
It's very very crazy. Let's take a couple questions before we go on because the questions are also pertaining to the कल के मैच. रवि सिंह पूछ रहे हैं कल के मैच में क्या यूजी चहल को खिलाना चाहिए था. Adi, do you have any view on this? I'll tell you my views. Do you think perhaps Chahal should have played yesterday? Ravi Singh पूछ रहे हैं.
Yeah, to be honest, I've been in favor of Chahal playing from day one. Because he's been your guy, right? He's been your guy from day one, and now ever since the IPL, he was back in reckoning. Also gives you that leg spin option, right? In Australian pitches, you never know; it might just come in useful. Ashwin, I am not completely against the notion of Ashwin being left out. His variation, his intelligence, always useful. But I don't know if Ravichandran Ashwin is being played as a sole spinner. And my point is, if you like, for example, yesterday Deepak Huda got a game, right? I mean, if you had to give Deepak Huda a game, like Gautam Gambhir also mentioned, he would come in your team as an all-rounder, right? But there was no sign of him bowling. My point is, if you had to play an extra batter, why not Rishabh Pant? Always been in favor of UZ Chahal. He's still
Yeah,
got age on his side. He will lead your spin department into the future. And I've always been a believer, Jamie, that you do not look back. You look forward.
sure. Yeah,
Ashwin was out of the T20 I reckoning. I get it. Maybe maybe it would have been a good ploy to give him a longer ODI run than a T20 run. But yeah, UZ Chahal any day. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't pick Yuzi Chahal, into the team thinking that he will give me runs. No,
yeah.
he's my go-to bowler. He's my lead spinner. I would get 4 overs out of him and leg spin, wrist spin.
It's not
Again,
streaming.
always beneficial to have.
No, it's a tricky one because Chahal is your most experienced player on the basis of getting far more game time than someone like an Ashwin. अब आपने अश्विन को pick किया तो you should play him. Akshar Patel अगर देखा जाए Akshar Patel is actually the most informed spinner because he's playing the most and he's getting wickets. तो उनका खेलना
Yeah.
बनता था and I'm glad कि उन्हें एक खराब ओवर के बाद against Pakistan he got the second match against Netherlands and he bowled well. I was
Hmm.
thinking that they should actually get rid of one spinner. It should be Ashwin because on that pitch मेरे हिसाब से just like South Africa did you needed to have four fast bowlers. अब फर्क ये आदि कि
Yeah.
इनका जो फोर्थ ऑप्शन था वो था लुंगी नगीदी और अगर वो नहीं होते it would have
Hmm.
been someone like Marco Jansen who we all know how he's troubled Indians especially Virat Kohli. हमारा फोर्थ ऑप्शन frankly हर्षल पटेल था जो कि आजकल कुछ खास फॉर्म में नहीं है. So I was not surprised.
Hmm.
But like you said, and I want to come to this issue of the team selection as well as the decision to bat. Rohit doesn't always bat, so that's talking point. But Deepak Huda को खिलाया. It's not about him not scoring runs. यार ये क्रिकेट है ये होता है. But then not getting him to bowl, there was
Exactly.
no there was in मेरे हिसाब से there was no need for a player like दीपक हुडा yesterday. बैटिंग में अगर वो नंबर 6 पे आ रहे हैं 7 पे आ रहे हैं उनका रोल नहीं है एंड वी ऑल न्यू कि ही वाज नेवर गोइंग टू बोल. सो दैट वाज अ वेरी स्ट्रेंज सिलेक्शन. आप लोग व्यूअर्स आप लोग प्लीज यहाँ पे बताइए वी स्पोकन अबाउट इट बट it's Perth. We know there's bounce. We know there's going to be a bit of seam, a little bit of swing more than seam, and we know कि इनके पास बड़ी अच्छी bowling है. Why do you think Rohit Sharma and Dravid chose to bat of all days yesterday?
No, I'm not completely against the decision to bat because you coming into a match, you're high on confidence. I get it, and probably they would have seen, they would have expected what kind of the windy conditions, the kind of service, they would have kind of envisioned what was awaiting them. And to be honest, Jamie, if you, I mean, I'm sure everybody saw the match. Not much change between the first and second innings, right? South
Mhm.
Africa troubled India with pace. India troubled South Africa with their swing, with their seam and swing, right? Arshdeep getting the ball. So I'm not completely against the idea of them batting first. Maybe it was also it was also a way to, you know, uh, check themselves that we have always chased well lately. And against Netherlands game, they probably won't take much into consideration. Maybe they just thought that since they still have two games to go after this, since they were high on confidence, I just thought that they went in with this belief that let us go and try and bat first. Let's see if we can make use of these
True.
conditions that there are. And but the only thing that concerns me, Jamie, is that for the first time in a really long time, our Indian openers look slightly troubled against genuine pace. I mean, most of the balls, they weren't really connecting. They were hitting the pads, and kind of, that plays on your mind. Maybe they went in with the intention that it might be easier to bat, but I think once they saw I mean, the kind and the speed at which the balls were being thrown at them, maybe that is when they have realized they could have realized that things were slightly different. And Marco Jansen, Lungi and Giri. I obviously expected Marco Jansen to get a game again, considering
Yep.
that he's troubled Virat Kohli in the past. He's a left arm. He's a left arm quick, can get the ball to move. But I don't know. I was there. If there was one person I was always afraid of, that was Lungi and Giri, because we have seen in the past how many times he's troubled India. It happened
Absolutely.
in the ODI series earlier this year when India went to South Africa, and he does and he did something very few players do, right? Get India's top three out. So yeah, I think the game turned there. And had there been somebody else along with Surya Kumar Yadav, if India were let's say like 15-20 runs ahead, things could have
That's
been
it,
different.
exactly. Because after all, they were also 40 for 1 around the 10 over mark. They struggle. They have a habit of choking. So
Exactly.
थोड़े 15 run होते तो it could be a factor. We'll get into that. I'm going to put up the first poll. This is only for our viewers, only because we've already discussed this topic. दोस्तों आपके पास 20 सेकंड हैं अपने लॉक स्क्रीन पे वोट करने के लिए. Is it time to try चहल? आदि ने बोल दिया कि he thinks चहल should have been playing a lot earlier. ये लोग आपके लिए हैं. Is it time to try चहल? I'm gonna get straight into it because you brought it up, Adi. Openers have been problematic मेरे हिसाब से काफी समय के लिए. By openers, I mean
Hmm.
as a pair, not individually. I'm okay with Rohit Sharma's lack of big runs because more than not he gives you a brisk start. My concern is of course KL Rahul, and I'm gonna bring up some stats as soon as we get the results of this poll out. 10 seconds on the clock. 42% कह रहे हैं yes it's time. Let's see the final results. It is 50, it's split 50-50. So I guess no one is quite sure whether Chahal should be picked on experience or current form. I get that. Let's get straight into the discussion, which I am most looking forward to speaking with Adi. This is our openers, जो कि हम सब जानते हैं कि इनकी बीच एक struggle है. Now, KL Rahul, let's have some stats. Now, Adi and our viewers, KL Rahul, the one thing which we can actually speak about is unlike others who've been playing this format throughout the year, KL Rahul का पहला T20 आया अभी Asia Cup में, right? He had
Hmm.
not played a
Hmm.
T20 for almost 8.5 months. So when we talk about recent form, this is actually he's apt क्योंकि हम इनके बारे में जैन फेब मार्च अप्रैल मई जून हम नहीं बात कर रहे हैं हम अगस्त 28 के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं आदि and it's exactly a 2 month frame, and this is why the stats often don't tell the true story. 13 innings, 328 run, 27.33 average, and here's the worrying stat: 121.3 is the strike rate.
Strike
All
rate.
these matches start on August 28th Asia Cup. They span two home series where, to be fair to him, he looked the best, and now three
Hmm.
failures in Australia. Now, sample size के बारे में बात करें, if you will indulge me, versus Pakistan 0, 28, 4 versus Australia 55, 10, 1 versus South Africa 51 not out 57 वो home series और कल के मैच में 9 versus Hong Kong Netherlands 36 of 39 and 9 of 12 versus Afghanistan in a dead rubber match where those poor players had to take sleeping pills to go to sleep after that match against Pakistan. वहां पे he got 62
They're
of
very mixed
41
up.
against Sri Lanka he got 6. Now Adi, it boggles my mind कि जिस प्लेयर के बारे में टीम कहती है कि ये बहुत ही अच्छा प्लेयर है, he's got huge backing, why does he always seem to be playing like it's his last match? Why is he insecure? It's KL Rahul. After Virat Kohli, he has the most faith and support in this team.
He does, Jamie. And, when you think of KL Rahul, okay, forget his recent struggle. When you think of KL Rahul, think about those 600 plus seasons with the IPL. Not one, two, I think 3, 4 years in a row. 5 years.
Paanch,
Imagine.
bhai, paanch.
So something, it's very strange. And you look at the kind of dismissal, right, against Pakistan, that, spitting image, Asia Cup as well. And yesterday was, simply, I mean, it was simply catching practice. And if you notice, Jamie, he just shut his eyes and he kept walking and he was obviously distraught in himself. So I don't know, maybe, KL Rahul is kind of reminding me of Sachin Tendulkar in 2006 and early 2007. When he's middling the ball, he's there. But when
समझ
he's
गया.
not, when he's not, he's just not there mentally. I mean, so I heard Sunil Gavaskar saying that he doesn't need a mental conditioning coach, but there is something that is troubling him. Of course, strike rate, chalo, theek hai. For example, if I have to side with KL Rahul, strike rates don't give you the entire picture. But for how long, right? You don't score at a good strike rate for 2 matches, 3 matches, but it's been happening like it's been happening way too frequently now. In the warm up, he looked good, but I don't know. Maybe he was like, I mean, like I mentioned, the pace was slightly, but pace isn't something that has troubled Rahul in the past. He's always been a very destructive batsman. Every time he scored runs for India, he's looked like $1 million. Probably even he's looked better than Virat Kohli when he's in full song, right? But that जो कहते हैं ना, when he's back, that in that given day wala, that cliched line, that given day is just not coming, Jimmy, which is very surprising.
Exactly.
And he getting that long run again. I'm not completely entirely against it because this Rahul Dravid, Rohit Sharma, this rain is all about giving players long runs. But somewhere down the line, especially with Shubman Gill waiting in the wings, and he's young. Obviously, KL Rahul is like not. I'm not saying that it's the end of the road for him as well. But if you are a potential future captain, right? If you're a contender for that post, you need to do better. I mean,
Absolutely.
it stage, right? It's a World Cup. Three single digit scores,
नहीं
not
है.
good enough,
I'm going to
especially
I'm
when
going
you're
to
an opener.
I'm going to take this forward because you said one good thing which I also want to bring about, but I'm going to bring another poll up for our viewers. Viewers, you have 20 seconds on the clock to answer this poll. Should India drop KL Rahul? You said, Adi, a couple good things. I'm going to pick up one. Destructive. आजकल तो सूर्य कुमार यादव का टाइम है, बहुत सारे कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं उनके
Oh,
फेवर में. But before Surya Kumar Yadav, if there was one player who came anywhere near with that range, those pickup shots and those ramp shots, it was this man KL Rahul. He was such a flexible, such a fluid player. I don't know why that is stopped. Maybe he's bogged down. Who knows? सुनील गावस्कर साहब ने कहा उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. Paddy Upton said, he's gonna have some. I don't know what it is, but you're absolutely right. There was
Jamie,
a
I would
time when he
also
was. Huh.
sorry to interrupt. I would also like to point out. I think this groin injury that he coped. I think uske baad se it hasn't just been the same. You can give
Correct.
he. I mean, obviously, even a struggling player can give you two half centuries, right? वो आ जाता है.
Will
But I'm not expecting KL Rahul to show Surya Kumar type of form, right? But thoda, मतलब, you should be better than this. He just looks unconvincing, which is very sad
exactly.
to see.
ये बहुत सही शब्द का उपयोग किया तुमने, अनकन्विंसिंग. By the way, the poll is saying it's pretty split actually. 52 are saying no and only 48 are saying yes. I guess a lot of people have a lot of faith like this Indian team. Exactly. I'm not saying I think he has to come and bat the way he did, 2018-19. But you are arguably the most talented multi-format player after Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Surya's not got a chance
I
in.
think that's why he's getting the backing as well.
Absolutely, but backing ko leke, this is what I was coming to. Adi, we all know in sport, in life, in your office, certain right decisions don't always give the right results. No, मेरे हिसाब से आदि और व्यूअर्स आप भी अपने व्यूज यहाँ पे शेयर करिए. India are stuck between they're making the right call from their perspective. It's just the results are coming out bad. He struggled 3 times. He was Like Robin Uthappa tweeted after the Pakistan match, hats off to Virat Kohli, hats off to Hardik Pandya. But openers are just playing too defensive. Somebody has to
Yeah,
go. And Rohit Sharma, to his credit, has been trying to be that proverbial aggressor. मैं कहता हूँ भाई practice match आदि they don't matter. Warm up matches don't matter. Three failures, they might think it's the right time, but he's got enough for long rope. At some point, someone like a Shreyas Iyer and a Huda and a Pant are going to say, "भाई हमें भी लंबी रस्सी मिली, इसका रस्सी इतना
clearly,
लंबा क्यों?"
clearly.
Saying before things get bad, take a call and put the guy out, yeah, because he's struggling. What is one more match going to do? Or so he gets runs against मेरे हिसाब से one of the worst teams going around Bangladesh, and then poor Holland who are winless. लोग तभी कहेंगे, I think it's time to just take a punt and just say बाहर बैठ जा भाई. What do you think about that? Or too harsh?
Yeah, I won't say too harsh, Jamie. This is not a new guy, just because you're pulling off the plug. He's been there. That is why you expect him to do well. And like I
बिल्कुल.
pointed out, this if you look at him as a future captain contender, you can't expect such results.
Correct.
Warm up में ठीक है when there is no pressure to मार रहे हो, but I don't. That's why I said ना there is something blocking him here. Because we've when you and I we've all played some sort of cricket, right? और हमें भी थोड़ा idea तो है कि जहाँ पे when you're there you're just not cutting that impressive figure. And and when it comes to openers, I don't have any complaints with Rohit Sharma. ठीक है, he's not getting the runs, but his approach has changed, right? He's going after the bowling. He's trying to give India that start. Sometimes it'll come off, sometimes it won't. ठीक है, not that big an issue. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, it might not be the worst of decisions to maybe drop him. For me, it was always going to be that is how I looked at the World Cup. Give KL Rahul three opportunities, the first three games,
Fair
because
enough.
two oppositions very good, one opposition not that good. So on that again, on I mean, on if you take the law of average वाला फंडा, एक तो रन आना चाहिए था, मतलब एक तो अच्छा स्कोर आना चाहिए था, especially in a World Cup. You can't afford low scores in a World Cup.
You cannot afford, and especially like you said, जब आपका नाम केएल राहुल है, आपके पास बिल्कुल नहीं है. And he got 450s in his last 7 innings, so there was hope कि ये बंदा आके करेगा. But unfortunately, in Australia, in 8 innings, he's averaging 16.25, and his strike rate is 100 in Australia. So sometimes these stats do show कि ये एक ऐसा देश है जहाँ पे वो struggle करते आ रहे हैं. And as harsh as it
Hmm.
was, Rohit Sharma even told them against Holland कि भाई रिव्यू ले ले. उसने खुद नहीं लिया. शायद वहां लेता रिव्यू, बच जाता, would have got some
I'm
runs,
telling you,
and
na,
maybe we wouldn't be having this. But I'm going to go with what you just said to
कुछ
wrap
है.
up. Three matches बनता है. थ्री मैच में आप
Hmm.
रन नहीं बनाए, किसी को डालना पड़ेगा. अब सवाल दोस्तों ये आपके लिए है व्यूअर्स. चलिए, वी हैव सेड कि ही शुड गो, बट द क्वेश्चन इज who will open with Rohit Sharma? I'm giving you two options, viewers. Maybe Rishabh Pant because it's a left field idea, or should Virat
Yeah.
Kohli go up? While the viewers cast their votes, I want to move on to, for me, really the big positive from yesterday was of course Surya Kumar Yadav. हम इनके बारे में जितना भी तारीफ करें, it seems like it's less. For me, Adi, from 59 for 5 to score about 60% roughly of the team's score, but to do so at a strike rate of 170. And here's the crucial bit, without breaking from your template, which has got you 1,000
Yeah.
runs in the year. क्या कहें इस बंदे के बारे में यार, what an innings.
All these years you're waiting for your number four player. It took a while, but we finally
बताओ.
have him. Crazy, man. I mean, he's in that touch in his life that you know वो कहते हैं ना can't do anything wrong. Is actually like that. I mean, you imagine पाकिस्तान वाला, चलो कल वाला एक सेकंड के लिए साइड में रख देते हैं. ये पाकिस्तान गेम है again. Two down, first ball straight down the ground, four.
बिल्कुल.
That just shows the confidence he's in. And why, like you said, the guy did not, stop the way he's playing. उसने he said in one of the press conferences as well that मेरा job एक ही है. If I come early, I know I have to score runs. If I come into bat late, again I know I have to score runs. And I think this is exactly what the team needs, Surya Kumar Yadav to do. Give him that
करेक्ट.
assurance कि भाई तू जा खेल. And one of the biggest reasons why Surya Kumar Yadav has flourished is because of this new found template कि यार हम anchor नहीं खेलेंगे. Again, I mean, of course, a game like Pakistan is a different thing, right? When you're chasing 150 plus and you're four down, without, I mean, with almost nothing on the board. So again, you can play, anchor. But I think Surya Kumar को बोला है कि boss तू अपना खेल. And Surya Kumar Yadav's presence in the middle order gives you that assurance, Jamie, that there is somebody who will, take us to a decent score even if the top order crumbles. 2019 World Cup में यही दिक्कत था. Your top three were gone because the middle order did not bat, right? Did not get to bat much because your top three were scoring most of the runs.
Correct.
Now that is not happening that frequently. No, here is your number four player here who's, I mean, no fear of any sort. And
No
he's
fear.
not even trying to play conventional shots. He's doing those, swivels. He's playing those, scoop shots. No stopping. Brilliant. I mean, my only, regret with the Surya Kumar thing is, he came onto the setup very late, and maybe, he doesn't have more than 2-3 years left left to perform at. I mean, maybe just another 2 or 3 years for him to perform at the level he is. That is my only regret. But if only we had gotten Surya Kumar Yadav a little early.
Exactly. Or kitni bar he was so close to selection. I think the silver lining out of what you've just said is that by the time he got that chance, he had moved on. Like he made peace, ki abhi, and he got more time to
Uh,
shape his game. All those IPL innings, first KKR ke saath, फिर Mumbai Indians के साथ, I think that has shaped him. So while he would say, yeah, I would have loved to play at 28, मौका आया 30 31 पे कोई बात नहीं because he's making up for lost time. I put a poll out while you were talking saying, is this guy's best innings for India? 57% are saying yes and 42% are saying no. If you can find a better innings to bail India out, please let me know in the comment section because I am struggling to think of an innings which could match that in terms of bailing out the team. Now, we talked about Sky because I love the guy. I can see you also a big fan, and I want to have one positive to talk about because overall ये show का जो topic है ये काफी एक serious or maybe someone say morose topic. I'm gonna get into the second player which I have several concerns. Unfortunately, he limped off the field yesterday in the second half.
oh yeah.
Dinesh Karthik. I've said it. People have gone after me. People are going to say again he's going off on this topic. मेरे हिसाब से आदि and please just bear with me while I put it out again and please feel free to counter me like you always do. मेरे हिसाब से मैंने जितना भी इंडियन क्रिकेट को देखा है मैंने इतना सटीक इतना प्रिसाइज इतना स्पेसिफिक सिलेक्शन नहीं देखा जितना इस बंदे का है दैट इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ वन वेरी गुड आईपीएल and keeping in mind the end goal. This is not about December, Jan, Feb. This is about selecting one man seemingly at the peak of his powers for a very, very specific role at a very, very big T20 World Cup. In the 5 months, he's
And
had
for a
some
very
hard.
limited time as well.
बिल्कुल तो I'm saying, had you ever seen a selection which was so obviously about 5 games? Forget the knockouts. 5 league stage matches. His selection was about that, and he played लगभग every single match. My point is, तुम्हारा एक job था और पाकिस्तान के against आप में वो fail हो गए. कल कल he failed. He hogged balls, but I'll give him a bit of leeway. Dinesh Karthik is not preparing for these kind of situations. He's been told to 12-15 गेंदों के लिए practice कर क्योंकि तुझे वही मौका मिलेगा. अब जब वो मौका नहीं आया, you can say, yeah, okay, but to counter that, you can even say, but he's been playing for India for 17 years. Shouldn't he have been able to bail the team out yesterday as well?
No, but Jamie, had it been Rishabh Pant, would he not have played out a few overs? He would have, right?
And he would have probably scored more runs also, is my gut
उसको आप
feeling.
बोलते हो उसको आप बोलते हो he's not made for your T20 setup. उसको ODI के बारे में भी people used to say he's not meant for ODI setup, right? But he proved, right? You give him a long rope, and he proved. And like I said at the beginning of the show, Jamie, always I was again people will come after me as well. I was never a fan of I mean DK getting back again. TK, you get back into the squad. World Cup maybe if you have to include him squad, well and good. But if you are preferring him over somebody like Rishabh Pant, which is again, man, I am extremely amused, man. Obviously, those guys know better than us. Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, they
Sure.
know the reason behind giving DK a longer rope. But again, I've never been a fan of putting a guy who is not exactly a future, right? When you have somebody ready for your future, not just one, there is Sanju Samson as well.
वही बात.
I won't say कि तुम संजू सैमसन को खिलाओ. अभी नहीं बोलूंगा. I also look at
Sure.
it in a way that maybe Rahul Dravid is probably shaping up Sanju Samson in a way कि boss you wait. I've let this T20 World Cup get over. इसके बाद दिनेश कार्तिक is in all likelihood gone. ऋषभ पंत, संजू सैमसन, ये दो बंदे हैं. But I just don't understand why you would hold him back, for a tournament like a T20 World Cup. Last time Dubai is different, and this is Australia, Jamie.
Yep.
Rishabh Pant has carved a legacy batting in Australia.
Absolutely.
if there was any other venue, for him to, finally crack the T20 code, it would have been Australia for all you know. Especially when you have games against Netherlands and Bangladesh. I mean, there was a time when Bangladesh was good, but right now they're like just
Not
all over
this.
the place.
Precisely. Precisely.
Not happening. यही time था यार. I don't know what how serious his injury is, but if it is serious enough, I think get Rishabh Pant in and give him a couple of games. Trust in him. We all trust in Rishabh Pant. Let him go about his business and he'll get you results. Again, DK not a fan of him. My point is, अगर आप उसे finisher भी खिला रहे हो, how often have those finishes come?
That is my point, Adi. Exactly जो तुमने अभी
South
कहा.
Africa, South Africa home series was in July. उसके बाद से आया नहीं. I was going through his last 10 scores. He's gotten a chance to bat, but his only decent score is a 90 and a 46 not out. 46 not out came against South Africa long back.
Exactly.
So the
Exactly.
results are not there. मतलब आप उसे finisher की तरह खिला भी रहे हो, but if he's not giving you those results,
No, no, I'm
don't see the
take this
sense.
forward. Take this forward. I'm putting up a poll now for our viewers. Should Rishabh Pant keep wickets? दोस्तों आपके पास 20 सेकंड है. Adi, you've hit the nail on the proverbial head because these innings, and I get it. जिस position पे दिनेश कार्तिक खेल रहे हैं दोस्तों, it's a very high risk. Your chances of failure are immense when you're a finisher with the goal of coming out and swinging from first ball. There have been days when he's done it. We saw it in the Asia Cup, fantastic. We saw it in the bilaterals. But in the Asia Cup, he batted only one ball. So the role for which you are grooming him and having him train, वो काफी समय से वो खेल नहीं पा रहे हैं. And my counter is, you've been
Hmm.
playing for India. I mean, okay, there's been big gaps. But 2004, you made your debut. You have finished off matches for Tamil Nadu in the TNPL. You finish off matches in the IPL. You won a Nidahas Trophy. It should not be with someone of Dinesh Karthik's experience and status. It should not be about बस आके चार बॉल पे हमें 10-12 रन दे दे. You need to be able to adapt your game, and you've had ample situations when you've been sent at 12 overs, 14 overs. कल का मैच is prime example. Where was that experience? मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं आप कल आके मारो. कल you had to settle down, but you couldn't do that.
JB, the most disheartening part is, you know, as a player, there are scenarios you envision yourself being in, right?
बिल्कुल.
Okay, this is the perfect situation for me. I'm going to play my inning, right? Now this happened in 2019 World Cup. नहीं हुआ. When India were three down, Karthik had a chance. नहीं हुआ. ठीक है, against New Zealand semi-final. Happened against Pakistan, got out, and then happened yesterday as well. So these are very frequent innings where that when you think of a player, perfectly, your stars are perfectly aligned, and this is the situation. He's somehow not able to do justice to those scenarios as well,
Absolutely.
which
I'm
is why
gonna.
it is very disheartening.
No, it's very disheartening, and I'm not a DK hater. I'm just trying to put forward my view and try and understand what was the logic. But again, like you said, हम दोनों यहाँ बैठे हैं, वो लोग team selection बात कर रहे हैं. I'm gonna pick up a few things. One, I'm gonna come to something which you just mentioned. एक second. I'm gonna also bring up because a lot of viewers were asking about these two moments. So पहला moment है दोस्तों, वो आपकी स्क्रीन पे अभी आने वाला है. Sorry, this was the second one. There was a drop catch, and then the next over there was a missed run out. Now, I'm going to link what the viewers are saying कि बहुत सारे हमारे viewers आदि कह रहे थे कि वो drop catch was a big thing. Again, after scoring only 133, you can say the batting underperformed. But at the time that catch went down, South Africa were struggling, the run rate was going, and you don't expect Virat Kohli to drop a catch. For me, that was a big turning point. And the
Hmm.
next over, Rohit Sharma missed this chance, and these two batsmen go on to score runs. But you were there. दोस्तों आपको बता दूं कि ये जो शख्स आपके स्क्रीन पे हैं, he was at the 2019 World Cup with me, and the two bad days, I'm focusing on the two words bad days. The two bad days India had, it's not because he was there, but Adi was at those two matches. They lost to England. That was the only loss in the league stage, and then the semi final they lost to New Zealand. I'm going back to that bad day term. India 2013 Champions Trophy में won every single match Adi, and they went on to win the final, right? Since 2013, India has not got their hand on any trophy because these bad days have invariably come when it's a knockout, when you cannot afford to have a bad day, right? 2015, India cruised into the semi-finals. At the semi-final at the SCG where I was there, they had a bad day. A catch went down. Mitchell Johnson had a spell from hell. Steve Smith scores.
Hmm.
2017
Yeah.
Champions Trophy team सबको तोड़ के पहुंचती है. They had a bad day. Fakar
Yeah.
Zaman scores runs. 2019 One bad day against England, but that bad day against England was the time when the team management lost faith in Kulcha. You were there.
Yeah, yeah.
एग्जैक्टली इफ यू हैड टू हैव दिस प्रोवर्बियल बैड डे और दोस्तों मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि कोई टीम स्केड्यूल देख के बोलती है कि हाँ चलो हम ये मैच हारते हैं इफ यू वांट टू गेट दैट बैड डे आउट द वे व्हेन कैचेस गो डाउन व्हेन रनआउट्स आर ड्रॉप्ड व्हेन बॉल्स आर एज टू सेकंड स्लिप इन अ T20 was this not that bad day they should get out of their system and hope to improve from here
अरे जेमी, आई वाज टेलिंग द सेम थिंग टू माय मैनेजर कि सर, मैं एक
पता
खराब दिन आता है, अच्छा है वो अभी आ गया। इट्स नॉट
है
अ
ना
नॉकआउट गेम, राइट? एक आता है, आ गया अभी। एंड आई वोंट से बहुत ही खराब था, ठीक है। बैटिंग का तो देखो, इन टू मैचेस इट्स हैपेंड, राइट? योर टॉप ऑर्डर हैज बीन शेडेड टू पीसेस। That is one concern. I hope that ends. And yeah, that the weird, fielding. I mean, it was a little bizarre, right? And India's not hitting direct hits, Jamie. They're not getting one directed ever since Ravindra Jadeja has gotten out.
Virat Kohli dropping a catch like this yeah I was shocked he's a terrific fielder
बिल्कुल। I think the expressions, summed up Ashwin and Rohit.
फोटो में
Uh, अच्छा, Virat Kohli, this happened in 2020 as well, Jamie. He was dropping sitters. So, ठीक है, चलो
हाँ
हो जाता है, चलो अर्शदीप also drop. I won't be too harsh. But यार, ये direct hit नहीं लगना is very, और and South Africa got one chance, right? Oh, not किया ने कर दिया run out. So, it's the little differences. It's the little differences between India and South Africa that kind of hurt India yesterday.
yeah yeah
Direct
Preeti
hits, I don't know. Yeah.
हाँ नहीं go on
Yeah, I was saying direct hits, India not getting is very surprising. यार वो pass से, it's not like they're throwing, right?
याद
They're
है
doing underarm
पिट्टू
practice. वो
पिट्टू
हो नहीं
growing up in Gurgaon you probably played पिट्टू also याद है
रहा. with the
जब रोज
I played with the crazy ball as
ऐसे
well.
मारता है ना तो आउट होता है पक्का कल मिलर आउट
No,
होता है
but
ऐसा
good the bad day came early, man. I mean, ठीक है, you didn't have much to lose. एक तो I've been hearing, things from our neighbors. और जानबूझ के हारे and all that. Nobody loses a match
हाँ ये
in a
बहुत
World
सारे
Cup
लोग बोलते हैं
deliberately. Come on. Yeah. Let's not get the emotions, get the better of us. Let's not do that. But again, glad that this came early. I'm sure they have time. They have two matches to still sort things out. And I'm sure if they reach the semi-final, it's going to be against either Australia or New Zealand. It's going to be tough for us.
नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो and I'm glad because I said this also yesterday when I was doing two live streams. Let this loss go because I hope this makes paves the way for some tough calls और tough calls के बारे में
Yeah.
बात करें तो Preeti is commenting Rohit is also not playing well. Why are we not doing anything? Rohit and Rahul have been having bad years and not days. Well, I think Rohit being the captain, he's not going to get dropped. But Preeti, like we discussed, Adi and I on this show, I hope you were there. Yes, openers need to be replaced. Not openers, Rohit cannot be replaced. KL Rahul, we've already discussed this during the show. KL Rahul has to go. And I think this match should pave the way for that one record change. Unfortunately, DK, like we said, he hobbled off. But मेरा ये point है कि
Yeah, we
अगर
don't
इस
know.
team if they make the right calls, if they realize where they went wrong, if they take positives out of Arshdeep's bowling, out of Shami's bowling, 4 overs, 1 for 13, out of some good things, this team forget the semi. I think this team can go to the final if they believe कि
Yeah,
हमारा
yeah.
bad day आदि वो निकल गया. इसी बात पे आखिरी पोल हमारे viewers के लिए who do you think will top Group 2, India or South Africa? Why I said this bad day can be allotted for. अगर इस loss से आदि they finish at 2, it's not a bad thing. You're in there and you probably won't have to play your bogey team New Zealand if you finish at 2.
Yeah, absolutely. अब मैं
You
बोलने
were
ही
there, you
वाला
saw
था।
it.
न्यूजीलैंड तो हो नहीं रहा वो पिछले कुछ टाइम से। न्यूजीलैंड नहीं हरा पा रहे।
Bypass.
I know, I still see South Africa topping this group here. I mean, if I don't know how Pakistan is going to respond to South Africa, but the kind of cricket South Africa is playing, oh God! I mean, for the longest time, वो कहते हैं ना transition वो आ गया. And if and to be very honest, if I was Pakistan, I would not get Temba Bavuma out. उसको 20 ओवर खिलाओ।
इतनी बार ये ट्वीट कर चुका हूं मैं.
But at this moment, South Africa favors to top the group. Yeah, I mean,
And that's
it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. And even if that happens, I don't think there's much loss because yesterday's I mean, barring yesterday's match, I finally see the Indian team playing like the Indian team that they used to be in ICC events. Suddenly raise their game. In 2014 वाला जो बांग्लादेश में हुआ था, Jimmy, nobody gave them a chance. They went to New Zealand, got
nobody.
hammered. England maybe, I mean, the last year England again wasn't that great, and they reached the final and they reached the final in convincing manner. I see them, at least reaching the final. Has to. We need to reach the final to, bury the ghost of last year.
Absolutely, and even the ghost of the last 9 years for all those bad days we were
Yeah.
talking about. Poll के मुताबिक 59% हमारे viewers कह रहे हैं India can definitely top it. It'll be great if they do. We have Bangladesh on Wednesday in Adelaide, and then I think we have Netherlands in Sunday at मुझे venue याद नहीं, but दो मैच बाकी हैं.
Zimbabwe at MCG.
Sorry, हाँ, Zimbabwe. You already played Netherlands. I fully expect India to win these two, but like you said,
Yeah.
Adi, probably South Africa, the strengths that they're going to will go
Hmm.
on to stop this group.
Just
बहुत
just
बहुत
just
मजा
on yesterday's victory, I would say South Africa. Just on yesterday's victory.
exactly because now they know Nagiri ko
Hmm.
khilao and the weakling Wayne Parnell he had a fantastic match yesterday. So
Yeah,
they're
why I wasn't expecting 3 wickets out of him. Yeah.
I know, and Russo getting out for a duck. Uske बावजूद
Yeah.
Markham and Miller scoring runs. I mean, that's a fantastic win. So yes, most likely they should end up on top of Group Two. Always a pleasure talking to you. This was fun. I think the थोड़ा जितना
Likewise, Jamie.
hardcore show होता है, we also the analysts and
निकलता
the
है
fan
हाँ
analysis.
unfiltered आता है.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, good
Lovely.
fun.
यार. All the best for the tournament. Keep doing well. Keep bringing in big numbers. And thank you to all our
Thank
viewers who
you,
joined.
thank you.
Take care, Adi. Bye, guys.
Bye guys, bye Jamie. Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Bye.